side. Marc Marquez on row 2, both those having crashed out on the first go. We ride again at the British Grand Prix, and the lights go out, and another great start from Alex Marquez. Another time he's ahead of Fabio Quartararo, but Pecco Bagnaia is even better still. He goes through to lead Alex Marquez, so much more circumspect on this occasion through turn 1. And look at Fabio Quartararo down into Village Corner. He's going to have the inside line, and he's going to take over the lead in this race. He'll have the inside line down towards the loop. Oh, and Pecco's hung out to dry as Marc Marquez comes through on Alex. Jack Miller's up into 5th.
Yeah, Mark got up the inside in the loop on his brother, and now it's about getting a good run down the Wellington straight.
Down towards Brooklands, we ride on board with Marc Marquez, with Pecco Bagnaia in front of us. Fabio Quartararo leads the British Grand Prix. Jack Miller is attacking down into Brooklands on Alex Marquez, who is seriously taking his time to get into this race, and who can blame him?
No, you can't blame him at all. He'll want to... Oh,
Zarco on the inside, he just hung in, wouldn't roll out of it, but he had to relinquish eventually.
I mean, there was no room there. Alex Marquez had his knee on the curb, but Zarco didn't roll out of it.
I mean, he's so lucky. How many times do we see someone have their front tyre clipped through there and down they slide out?
Someone's really wide. Aldeguer, I think.
I think it's right. I think it's the rookie who's dropping back down through the order. So this is where Marc Marquez, of course, got caught out through there on the second lap of the original race. And again...
I bet he held his breath then. How funny though, tricky conditions, and Miller looks the fastest man on the track already, getting held up by Marc.
Yeah, here we go then. Out of Chapel, down towards Stowe Corner on the hanger straight for the first time. Quartararo leading. We're looking at Bagnaia with Marquez in second. Wow, look at Zarco approaching at pace down into Stowe. Some confidence there for the Frenchman. Is he going to go around the outside of Alex Marquez?
Impossible.
He just has
It's possible.
Yeah. Well, you've just won your home Grand Prix. You can do anything. You thought you were Superman, Neil. It's Johan Zarco who's doing the business here in Britain.
I can't believe what I'm seeing. I mean, that's just ridiculous. He rode around the outside of the guy who's second in the championship.
Has he got a cape on his back there? Johan Zarco was flying down towards Stowe, and he got through on Alex Marquez. Right, at the front, Fabio Quartararo going 1.2 seconds to Bagnaia. I'll remind you, he's got the soft front on.
He's got the soft front on, and he's throwing everything at it, out of the seat then.
And Jack Miller as well, also coming through. This is fantastic to see, from Miller up into the podium positions. And we thought, really, in these kind of conditions, the Yamaha was going to struggle. They struggle with grip, but they have to take advantage of the fact that the Ducati riders with that medium front tyre on are just having to take time to get into the race.
I mean, look at the difference in corner speed from Miller. Look at that for a pass. He can't get it stopped, surely not.
He'll have the inside line into
Am I wrong again? I am.
Yeah, he's got the inside line. So the Yamaha riders 1 and 2 as Jack Miller goes through up into second.
And what we are witnessing is the difference between the soft front and the medium. You can't trail brake on the medium, so you have to brake early. You have to brake way earlier. Look at the differences. It's incredible. It's rare you see it this much.
Marc Marquez up the rear of his teammate. He's got to run wide. He's going to lose position. And now we have 3 Japanese manufacturers in the top 4 in a dry race in MotoGP.
And Marc runs wide there because he's gone in a little bit hot, but not crazy. But he daren't trail brake. You know, if you continue to brake on the front with lean angle, we know what the result's going to be. So you have to accept the punishment, allow the bike to go wide, and pull back in on the racing line. 22
consecutive races Ducati won until Johan Zarco won on the Honda in France, and now in the next race we've got a Yamaha leading in the hands of Fabio Quartararo, who's pulling out a 2.2 second gap on Jack Miller, who's providing the best buffer as a Yamaha man, isn't he, in second place?
Yeah, 2.2 seconds. He still hasn't completed 2 laps.
I'll tell you what, Joan Mir with the hard front tyre on is up into 7th and pressurising Alex Marquez. That hard front works better than the medium. It must be. Has he gone back to the medium? No, he's gone back to the medium.
Gone back to the medium.
All right, I was going to say, it was wild if he's gone with the hard front tyre.
2.4 seconds lead after 2 laps.
And he's in the pace you'd expect to, you know, the 59s. Here comes Zarco. 3 Japanese manufacturers lead the British Grand Prix. We have not been able to say this for a long, long time. Zarco has the inside line on Bagnaia.
Oh, this is going to be sneaky.
Opportunistic from Marc Marquez as Zarco came through, and Marquez on his teammate through entry takes over in 4th.
That was some move. There was not a big, well, there was no gap really, but just as Bagnaia was thinking of tipping it into the loop, Marc stuck his front wheel in there.
This is wild what we're seeing out here. Fabio Quartararo streaking away. Here we go, Piero Taramasso, soft front tyre, yet to complete full race distance.
Oh, great news.
Oh, cheers, Piero.
Yeah. Do the riders know this?
Fabio Quartararo doesn't care at the moment because it's a 2.4 second lead.
What a comment. So basically, we've no idea if this front tyre will last.
Oh, goodness me. Gonna have to be... Pecco Bagnaia almost lost his front tyre in Copse Corner. They're all having a nightmare because Marc Marquez has run wide as well in Copse. They are dropping down the order. Unreal. This is a remarkable Grand Prix already. Yeah, by the way, we're on lap 3 of the second running of the British Grand Prix.
Again, it's exactly the same as what happened before.
Is this also something to do with the new bike as well, as in the problems that they're having, Marc and Pecco? They can't feel their front end well.
That is the #1 comment that Pecco's been saying. He said yesterday evening, I can't tell the difference with the soft or the medium front tyre. The feeling is the same. Bear in mind, there are huge differences, but he says the way this bike is at the moment for me...
I've got my eyes on Marco Bezzecchi here. Yeah, he's up now into 5th place in this race. Was the fastest rider yesterday. We said before the start of proceedings, keep your eye on Bez on the Aprilia. They won here, Aprilia, 2 years ago with Aleix Espargaro, who was on pole here for them last year, was on the sprint podium last year, and now Bezzecchi, who had the best pace of anyone in the second half of the sprint, is up into 5th.
Yeah, and Fabio, 3.1 second advantage. He's about half a second a lap faster on that lap, and he looks great, looks smooth.
Ooh, Bez has just run a little bit wide, but has got through now on Alex Marquez and up into 4th place. I can't believe what we're seeing now. The top Ducati, Alex Marquez, is in 5th, and then the next Ducati is 9th for Marc Marquez. All the rest, non-Ducatis. I bet there's a few people pleased to see that. I know I'm one of them. Meanwhile, behind, Pedro Costa on Bagnaia.
Bagnaia's lost his rhythm as well with it.
He's now tiptoeing around.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gone! At left field corner.
Unbelievable!
Almost got hit by Alex Rins from behind. It was like he was holding the bike between the pincers in his fingertips.
You couldn't explain it any better. I mean, he's riding, he's not even pushing, he's not risking anything. But imagine what it must have felt like for him. He could feel the front folding underneath him all the time. I feel so sorry for Pecco Bagnaia there. Thankfully, he didn't get run over because that was close.
Marco Bezzecchi's up into the podium positions in the meantime. He's through on Zarco. Bezzecchi is the rider, apart from Quartararo, quickest on track. There is Marc Marquez just having to... He said throughout the weekend it's been really hard work going tough. I've got to change myself. But that factory Ducati this weekend is just not quite working as you'd like. I remind you, Alex Marquez is still in this race, still in the mix, battling for the podium positions. So he's learned his lesson from the first race. Give your tyre some respect, give it some time. As you see Pecco Bagnaia crush out top left. Drama galore in the British Grand Prix.
For me, Aldegar in the back of shot there was doing a major dive bomb on someone.
So, across the line. 3.9 from Fabio Quartararo to Jack Miller. Bezzecchi, half a second quicker than Miller on that last lap, but Zarco and Marquez were both slower than Miller. Morbidelli there in 6th place. He also crashed out of the first race. He is quicker than Miller, back in 6th. John Mir is in 7th spot. Luca Marini is in 8th. 3 Hondas in the top 8, 2 Yamahas in the top 8, and Aprilia in the top 8.
Unreal. And there's a long way to go, but the gap at the front's around about 4 seconds. You can see 3.8 seconds.
But still, as Marc Marquez now starts to make manoeuvres, Quartararo is still quicker than everybody.
Yeah, by quite a chunk, and he's getting to the point where if he gets a big enough lead and the tyre drops off, he will have that buffer.
What did you say on the grid before when you were speaking with Susie? I'd rather have a soft tyre going off than a medium tyre that
I've got no feeling for, and you end up picking your bike out of the gravel. Look, you're going to drop back, the tyre's going to wear. But
Aprilia say no. As far as we're concerned, it's a 2.
From the very first corner of the first start, I'm gutted for him.
No, we all are. We all are for Fabio Quartararo. He's in tears, and who can blame him there? They worked so hard on getting that ride height device to match the others.
Yeah, so basically...
he's trying.
Yeah, it was going down into Brooklyn, so down the Wellington Straight, he'll engage it like everybody does, and then it's just not disengaged. So tries to click it here in low field, it's still
braking
down.
hard.
Imagine what's going through his head at that point.
Oh, your heart goes out to Fabio, your heart goes out to Yamaha. It looked like we were going to break Ducati's streak again. Oh, the sheer agony for Fabio Quartararo, who has stopped out on the racetrack, on the home straight, parked his bike up. He did not deserve that. He didn't crash out in the first part of the race. He got back in, he's led them out all the way, and that is cruel. Cruel for Fabio. The marshal's going to open the gates so he can come in pit lane. Conversely, the gift has been handed to Marco Bezzecchi. He's running a bit of a Sex Pistols-themed helmet, is Marco Bezzecchi. A bit of a punk, anyway, with his mullet style that he's got this weekend for Bez. And so, could he be taking that to victory for Aprilia?
I mean, he's 6 and a bit laps to go. That tyre looks fine.
Yeah.
He looks smooth. He rides smooth anyway.
And he was 4/10 quicker than Zarco on the previous lap. Comfortable margin.
Yeah, it's gone up again on this lap as well.
Jack Miller has just put a personal best lap in, you know. He's sticking with Marc Marquez. So not all done for Yamaha just yet. Johann Zarco, who had on their bingo card back-to-back podiums for Zarco. My brain is going to be fried for the second week in succession.
Yeah, it's one of those races when afterwards, if someone said, I missed the race at the weekend, can you just quickly tell us what happened?
Have you got 40 minutes so I can go through it all over again?
I'd be like, great shot.
That explains perhaps why in certain corners, for example, the left's okay and then some of the rights started to struggle, and why Marc Marquez now 1.3 behind Zarco and sensing perhaps another 4 points if he can get in front of the Frenchman. 2 laps remaining as they cross the line. 1.2 the gap between Marc Marquez and Johann Zarco. Still, Marco Bezzecchi leads on the Aprilia, who haven't won since the Circuit of the Americas last year, and Maverick Vinales. Yeah,
in any other normal race, I'd think Marquez is going to do this. He'll throw everything at it, but today's not the day. He's got his brother behind him. He knows, obviously, Bagnaya's behind him. He doesn't probably know that Bagnaya's crashed out, so why risk in these tricky conditions where you know it's so easy to watch the front? I think he'll be just pleased that, like I say, his main rivals are behind him, and he'll just take another podium.
Marco Bezzecchi's last win, anyone? Off the top of your head?
Oh.
Remember on the VR46? India, 23.
No way. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, it was impressive there that weekend.
How hot it was as well.
That was hot. Very similar to these conditions.
Yeah,
very similar.
Almost identical.
That literally, it was 40 degrees.
Almost complete opposite, wasn't it?
Yeah, but the problem was, right, so in India, it was that hot that the tyres were so overheated that you'd zero grip. Here, it's obviously way too cold, that the tyres aren't quite working, getting up to temperature, so you've zero grip. So what have we learned? Bez is good when there's no grip.
Yeah. The Aprilia also around a fast-flowing circuit like this. The gap between Zarco and Marquez comes down again, but it's probably not going to be enough. And this is another fantastic ride from the Frenchman on the LCR Castrol Honda.
Stock values not doing bad, is it, Gav?
What, the veteran, the 34-year-old, the oldest man in MotoGP?
What, the guy who, when he signed for LCR and Honda, I criticised and said, what a mistake. Yeah. He shouldn't have done that.
Well, he's changed, I will say. Yeah. Feels like, even at 34, he's been able to change his attitude, hasn't he? And changes, he says it himself.
We're going to have a good last lap here because Frankie Morbidelli, who's not shy, has closed in on Marc Marquez. Frankie can smell the podium. He's nothing to lose. He'll go for it.
And he's 3/10 quicker than Marc. Here he comes. Here it is. Down into Village, and Frankie Morbidelli comes past Marc Marquez. Marc will try and ride over the top of him, and that is Marc Marquez to a T right there. He just gave it a little bit extra throttle between the two corners and said, no, Frankie, you are not coming through here, and laid the bike in front of him.
Yeah, but what we learned, Frankie will be, Frankie's so much stronger through these fast rights where Marc's been struggling. Oh. Super defensive from Marc, but he'll lose time by doing that.
It's going to be in
Vale.
Well, I was going to say Beckett's, where, you know, where Mark keeps running wide. Mark's going to have to take a risk if he wants to hang on. Does he take that risk? So Marco Bezzecchi comes up towards Kopp's corner. There's a battle still raging on behind at Woodcote between Marquez and Morbidelli. Morbidelli's attacking it. Oh, late one, isn't it? But he's got to run wide, but he's got in front now. And Alex Marquez coming into this one now behind. This is the battle for third place in the bronze medal as Marco Bezzecchi rounds through Beckett's towards Chapel. He's got 4 seconds in his back pocket over Johan Zarco. Zarco will get second. What's going on behind though? Morbidelli has struggled into Stowe.
Oh, Mark's got a good drive. He's in the slipstream. He's definitely going to go to the inside.
Here we go. And he levels. Oh, that's just classic, isn't it? Marc Marquez, he just levelled in there. Gave Morbidelli no shot, but Morbidelli's going to get the run down towards Bale. Mark's going to hunt the inside to try and give Morbidelli no opportunity.
Morbidelli's lunging.
Of course he is, from miles back. And Morbidelli's going to take Marquez, who will ride underneath him. Marco Bezzecchi wins the British Grand Prix for Aprilia. Marc Marquez is going to take third. Johan Zarco is going to be second across the line.
Wow.
Just Marquez takes third from Morbidelli. Alex Marquez is fifth. And Massimo Rivola and Aprilia have had a horrible couple of weeks. And Marco Bezzecchi has delivered them a Grand Prix victory they were not expecting from 10th on the grid. They win for the first time in well over a year. What a day we have had at the British Grand Prix.
Oh man, that's absolutely incredible. I'm so pleased for Aprilia. I'm devastated for Yamaha.
Out on the first go. We ride again at the British Grand Prix, and the lights go out, and another great start from Alex Marquez. Another time he's ahead of Fabio Quartararo, but Pecco Bagnaia is even better still. He goes through to lead Alex Marquez, so much more circumspect on this occasion through turn one. And look at Fabio Quartararo down into